In these first months of the new year, farmers are tending to the cover crop they planted after last year's harvest. But just because farmers planted peanuts or corn last year doesn't mean they will grow the same thing on the same plot of land this year. Many farmers rotate the crops they plant in order to get the best use of the land. Jeremy Yeager manages crop production for Mercer Farms, which has operations in Pennsylvania and Clark County, Virginia. This field currently has rye on it, planted as a cover crop after harvesting corn.
If we just grew corn after corn after corn and combined that corn and left the crop residue there, there's a lot bigger chance of diseases, certainly insects, but diseases are the big one.
In order to prevent diseases in the soil, farmers who plant a grass crop like corn will likely switch to a legume crop, such as soybeans or peanuts, which aren't susceptible to the same kind of diseases.
If somebody is growing corn for grain and leaving the residue there, there would be a benefit then to growing soybeans the next year and maybe wheat the year after that.
Fitness enthusiasts say you have to vary your workout in order to keep your muscles guessing. Many farmers rotate their crops for the same reason, so the soil nutrients don't get too accustomed to any one type of plant. Weed control is another reason why farmers rotate crops. There are dozens of different types of weeds. Virginia farmers commonly deal with grass weeds and broadleaf weeds. By switching between grass crops and broadleaf crops, farmers can reduce or prevent either type of weed from smothering out the main crop. The primary crop may vary from year to year, but farmers are increasingly using rye as the main cover crop.
We used to use wheat, but now we've gone to rye.
Why is that?
Just gives the soil more biomass, more nutrients. We feel like it maintains more nutrients in the soil. It grows taller than wheat, so in the spring when we burn it down, gives the soil more tilth with the more biomass on top in the spring when we go to plant.
Rogers has just harvested cotton in his field in Surry County. In addition to rye, clover, vetch, peas, and other legumes are favored by cotton growers. Some Virginia farmers are experimenting with other cover crops, including sesame, but rye is most favored now.
Rye is king. It's one of the best cover crops that you can use to put nutrients back into the soil and organic matter.
Right.
So we plant a root crop like sweet potatoes and elephant garlic. Mm-hmm. Once we harvest, we plant rye, and we keep planting rye for another 4 years before we'll come back and plant another root crop like garlic or sweet potatoes.
Cover crops don't just maintain the land, they can also prepare the soil with nutrients that can help certain crops get off to a good start once they've been planted in the spring.
Mixing in some legumes like clover, vetches, there's different vetches, hairy vetch, that they're legumes that will help grow some nitrogen to feed the corn next year, so that I'd have to use less commercial fertilizer. We're in essence growing our nutrients rather than having to purchase and apply them.
This farm is primarily a dairy operation, but the corn they grow here is critical to the dairy's success because it's used to feed the cows. Once the field is harvested, the cow's manure is used to help fertilize the field before a new round of planting. Crop rotation also helps the environment by preventing nutrient runoff and promoting carbon sequestration, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Just because farmers are planting one crop, say corn, on one plot of land, it doesn't mean they aren't planting corn on other land tracts they manage. Indeed, crop diversification is part of many farmers' business plan. In Clark County, I'm Burke Moeller reporting.